Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sumsum and I talk about movies. I recently saw Emma and I thought it was a really nice film and I wanted to talk to you guys about it. Emma is a film directed by Autumn de Wilde and it stars Anya Taylor-Joy and it is of course based on a novel from Jane Austen. I will try to formulate the plot a little bit, although in past videos I noticed that I'm really terrible at it, so I'll try my best. Emma is a privileged girl living in Regency era England, and she really likes matchmaking people surrounding her, and she finds that she has quite a skill of it. So she took up this hobby of doing this for the people around her, and she's quite arrogant, and her arrogance is preventing her from connecting with people. I promise the film is a lot more interesting than what I just told you, so just go watch it, it's cute. So if you like period films, this is totally for you. The storyline is of course based on the book from Jane Austen, and her signature from her books is that she tells stories that makes the characters come alive. When you're reading her books, it feels like any moment those people will just knock on your door and just have a real conversation with you. That's her special talent, and that's why her stories still resonate with us even nowadays. And all of the characters feels real, no matter how small or big they are. I mean, Emma is of course very fleshed out as a character, but also the smaller characters feels like real people as well. They feel jealousy, they feel happiness, they go through hardships. And in between all of those story between these people, there's also a commentary on the social status, because Emma in the beginning, she really didn't want her best friend to marry this farmer's boy because in her eyes his status was not high enough. One of the things that drew me to this movie was I saw this review about the accuracy of the period costume in this movie by Karolina Zabroska. I watch her videos all the time, I really love her. I will probably link you to her channel as well, I think she's great. I hope if you ever see this, I'm a huge fan. Thank you for watching. She had a really positive review about the clothes. She said the shape is really accurate, but then they updated the palette a little bit, which I completely agree. The colors are really bright and it's really fun, so it's still a stylized movie, and the cinematography is absolutely great. It really reminded me of Wes Anderson's movie, although his movies are a little bit more how do I say that, toned down. Like the colors are bright, but they're muted. But this movie is brighter, but the greens are slightly yellowish, and that really leans into the Regency era as well. So that was all thanks to, I think the cinematography was great, but also that the director has a very clear vision of how her films needs to look like. And I looked her up, and it's no surprise that she's a photographer and she's a music video director, and we all know music videos needs to be all about the visuals, you know, it needs to communicate everything because the sound is all for the song. So you as a director, you can only work with the visuals that you have. And that font, that font where they wrote Emma on the poster is so gorgeous. So in the movie you also have different seasons, and then they will have those words like autumn, summer, spring, you know, written on the screen, and then it's in that particular font. I think that font is really beautiful. You guys, like, if I have to, like, on my tombstone, I just want to say right now that I want that font on my tombstone. I'm just putting it out there in case anybody needs to know that. I really like the color palette because it's like watching not a painting from 200 years ago, but it feels more like a pop art painting because the colors are so modern. It doesn't feel like a grumpy, stuffy, old period piece. I think it is could still draw younger people because the cast is quite young. So I will talk about that a little bit later. So I think they did a really good job at making this movie. Did you know that Clueless was inspired by Emma? So Clueless was a movie from the 90s, I think. I saw it a couple months ago. I know, I'm very late. I'm very sorry. Because I saw it so recently, I was able to compare those two movies with each other and could see, okay, which character is supposed to be who. So it helps me follow the story a little bit because British English, it's a bit hard to follow. I cannot watch anything without subtitles, I'm sorry. I think that was a thing in the 90s where people will make films about classic literature because it will maybe help kids discover classic novels by great writers like Jane Austen and William Shakespeare. Shakespeare. If you guys like the film, maybe also check out her other books. I mean, there's been so many Jane Austen movies, and I think this also speaks to how universal her story is, that it could be about a girl from the Beverly Hills in the 1990s, and it also could be from the Regency era in the 1800s. And last thing I wanted to point out was that in this movie I saw quite a few familiar faces from Sex Education on Netflix. I think it's nice, but I also recognize a lot of the other actors from Sherlock as well. I'm not sure whether there's just not a lot of actors in the UK or everybody just wanted to be acting in this movie because they all love Jane Austen so much. I'm sure you recognize some faces as well because I think I saw Yara from Game of Thrones as well. So yeah, I'm sure you'll recognize some faces when you watch this movie. Okay, that was my side of the discussion about Emma. What did you think about it? Comment below, let me know, and let's just start a conversation. In the meanwhile, stay safe.